Happy Friday, guys. And today I'm going to teach you a cherry good recipe. That's right. We all have bought these in the grocery store. We all have a bag of these that we eat out of, and then we have extras and we don't know what to do with them. But today I'm going to show you how you can use them and make an amazing cake for the summer. Actually, it's a cake you can use all year round, but these are in season, so let's use them. Let's eat them. I love them. Okay, so it's such a simple recipe that we are going to use a regular bowl and a whisk. That's pretty much all we're going to use. We don't need a KitchenAid today. So I'm going to get started here. And I have 10 tablespoons of butter, 10 teaspoons of butter here. So it's basically a stick with a couple of teaspoons left over here. So one stick. And let's see, is anybody on? Are we live? Are we going? I don't have my daughter here today, so I'm not positive if share to a group. Oh, no. Okay. Well, I don't have my daughter here today, so I'm still hoping I'm live and I'm doing this right. So, okay, so I have 10 tablespoons of butter in here now, and I'm going to add to it 3/4 cup of sugar. And let me see if I can just turn this a tad bit for you so that you can get the whole thing. Okay, so 3/4 cup of sugar. So it's a half and a quarter. Alrighty, and that's a half and a quarter. Okay, so we're going to whisk this together. That's all you need. One of my best memories, to be honest with you, when I was a child was going to my Nana's house, and after church, we would run and take off of our slips, and we would climb this cherry tree. And I remember how it feels even under my feet, because a cherry tree has like that hard bark to it. And I remember climbing up it and reaching for the cherries, and we would just eat them and eat them and eat them. Sometimes to the point where I would get a stomach ache because I love them. So of course I buy them, by the bag, and I eat them, bring them to work, and I share them. But it's just, sometimes they're left over and you're like, what am I going to do with them? So, hi Denise, I cannot wait to see you soon. I can't believe it. Are you flying? Where are you? Okay, so we have the butter and the sugar all mixed up already. So it's nice and creamed together. And I like the smell of butter and sugar together. It just has like that home-baked smell to me. Okay, so we're going to add in 4 eggs. And I'm going to whisk it together like one at a time. This is also going to be real good for your muscles and your arms. So, okay, so that's 1 egg. And then we're going to do the next one. And I'm hoping you guys can hear me because I do have the microphone on, so I'm hoping everything goes okay. And then, this is coming together really good. Okay, another one. So this is our 3rd egg. So we've been really busy at the restaurant, of course. It's been wonderful. We're meeting so many new people, new friends coming in. It's just been a lovely time, a busy time. It's busy for all restaurants right now, but I'm just really grateful that I've had the opportunity to meet so many new people coming through. Whew, this one popped up all over. Oh, I got a little messy on that one. All right, and then we're going to break that up and add it in. So it should be nice and creamed like this and no lumps of butter around. That's why it's important to keep your butter at room temperature for this, because if it's hard, you're never going to get it to cream together. Even if you put it in a KitchenAid, it won't cream that well. You have to have room temperature butter for this. Okay, so this is all nice and done. And to it, we're going to add our flour mixture now. And we're going to use 1.5 cups of just regular all-purpose flour. So I went ahead already and I posted the recipe up for you guys. It's on my regular Facebook page, and then it's on my recipe page, which is Let's Cook This. So it's already up there with pictures. So this is 1 cup, and we're going to add that. And then we have to add 1/2 cup of flour. So altogether, 1.5. And these are pretty much things that you should already have in your house. It's not like you have to go out and buy flour. Sometimes if you cook a lot, you might have to go out and buy more flour. So I wanted to tell you a little bit before we dive into the cherries. I used real cherries. You could use maraschino cherries, but it's not quite the same. You know, there's nothing like a fresh cherry. They're in season, they're delicious. But I did something a little more to my cherries. And this is actually called a drunken cherry cake because I actually soaked mine in amaretto. Not much, but I pitted them. I'm going to show you right here. I have 2 cups of cherries. And I pitted them, and I just put in about 1/4 cup of the amaretto, and I stirred it around, and oh my goodness. I could probably eat these, but I'm actually going to work, so I can't. But I like the pairing of almond and cherry together like that. So I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I bet almond liqueur would go really well with it. So that's what I did. So I went ahead and I actually made one of these cakes already for you guys because I wanted to show you what it would look like. It's actually very pretty. It's I did it in a springform pan, and I cooked it in a 350-degree oven. So I could not wait. This cake looked so pretty that I had a slice of it with my coffee this afternoon. I mean, I have to taste things out, guys. I can't let you cook something that I haven't tried myself. So it gets the thumbs up. All right, so we have plenty to go around now for coffee. So I did preheat my oven to 350. I don't know if I did say that or not. And then we're going to be using a springform pan. So now that I have my flour in, I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder because we do need like a leavening agent in it and powder puffs. So we're going to use one teaspoon of baking powder here and just put that in there, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I use like the big kosher salt. You know, I like to feel it in my fingers. I like to know how much I'm putting in. And again, just using my whisk like this. Look how nice I got this batter just from using a whisk. Like no KitchenAid, no nothing. Okay. And now for the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put some milk in. Okay, yeah, I'm using light cream because that's what I put in my coffee. If you have skim milk, you can use skim milk. If you had half and half, use half and half. Anything you want to. So it's 1/2 cup of milk. There's my 1/2 cup. We're going to fill this up and we're going to pour it in. And that's going to be it, guys, for the ingredients. The next part, be careful when you start whisking this because there we go. Okay, and the next part we're going to put in is just the cherries, and then we're basically going to be done. That's how easy this is. All right, so the batter has gotten more loose because of the light cream. And the last thing we're going to do is a flavoring. So the recipe that I kind of looked up, I changed it a little bit. The recipe that I looked up called for vanilla, but since we're having almond with our cherries, why not use almond liqueur? So we're going to use almond flavoring. So just 1/2 teaspoon. We're going to mix that around. I love almond anything. Okay. And the final thing is the cherries. Okay, so we have them in here, and we don't want to pour this in because, like I said, they have been soaking a little bit in the amaretto liqueur. So I'm just basically going to spoon them in, and then we're going to, this way it drains kind of some of the juice out of them. And I'm going to save just a couple so that I can decorate the top of my cake. You don't have to. You can just pour them in and stir them and pour it in the pan, and that would be fine. But I'm the type, like, I want to just put a couple extra on the top just to make sure It's got all that cherry bursting in it. So I'm just saving probably about 10 or 12. That's all. And now I'm going to take my whisk out because I'm not going to use this. And I'm just going to lightly fold these in now. Okay, so I'm folding my cherries in, mixing them around. This I cannot describe to you. The smell and the almond with the cherry. It's incredible. Okay, so this is what it should look like. The consistency, it's a little bit pourable and you have the big cherries in there. If you didn't want them that big, you could cut them. You know, there's not a problem with that. I'm gonna move my coffee out of the way. Now we're going to use for this a springform pan. And if you don't know what a springform pan is, it comes apart and at the bottom, you can take off the bottom. And it makes it easier for cakes like this. So this is what we're going to use. Let me put that in there. This is what people use for cheesecakes, and things like that. They're easier like that. So, okay. And then I'm going to put it underneath another pan. I have a new oven. I don't want it getting dirty. So then I just put it on top of it. So if anything does happen to drip out, then I can just put it in here. Okay. So let's see. I'm missing my video partners today, so I'm kind of by myself, and I was practicing a little bit, but it's nothing like having somebody here with you, just to help you through. So I'm going to move this a tiny bit because you know what? I forgot to spray my pan. So just hold on 1 second. Let me get the spray. All right. Okay. So I got to spray my pan because if we don't, then it's going to stick. So we're going to spray this all around. I remember before all this happened, my mom used to use the butter with the flour, and it used to just take her forever to get it perfect. And then some of the cakes used to have like the flour on the side when they came out. It's really come a long way, now cooking. Okay, so we are ready to pour this in here. I'm going to try to show you this. And we're going to pour it in. And the oven is already preheated to 350, like I said. And we're going to cook this cake for approximately 35 to 40 minutes. That's it. It's going to be nice and simple. Spread it around in here. Okay, I want to see if I can show you guys what it looks like. There it is in the pan. So I saved a couple of the cherries because I wanted to put a couple on the top just to make it decorative. Like I said, you don't have to because there's surely enough cherries inside. But we're just going to put them around. And then I cannot wait to eat these. These have been soaking in amaretto for a little while. You don't have to though. If this was something you wanted to make quickly, you don't have to soak the cherries. You could just go right ahead and put them in there. I just wanted to add a little bit to it. And I am finished. Okay, so this is what your cherry cake looks like. I'm going to see if I can show you guys. And I just put the rest of the cherries on the top like that. And now it goes in the oven for 350 for 40 minutes, like I said. I took mine out at 35, just to be safe, and I let the rest of it cook. And also now, I took sanding sugar, and you can put that on the top here and just sprinkle it over the top. If you don't have sanding sugar, you can use regular sugar, and it gives it like that nice crust on it. As you see, this cake here has like this nice little shiny, crispy top to it. It's so delicious. So I'm going to cut a small piece, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Another topping you could put on it would be powdered sugar. If you just want to, sprinkle the top with powdered sugar, you could do that. And this is like a dense coffee cake. It's definitely one that you have with a cup of coffee. Definitely. So make this cake, guys. Use the cherries that you see in the store. It's so delicious. It's nice and dense. It's like a combination of the butteriest pound cake with those Drunken cherries in there. So they are so good. Make the cake. You'll love it. Have a good weekend.